This is game number 3 in the SC2 Christmas Invitational Round of 16 Day 2 action. I'm Rifkin, joined by part 2, and spawning here in the lower left corner of the map. Tying the series up just now, it is from Kontakte Gaming, the blue Zerg player, Hyun. And his opponent from Vega Squadron. He's red, he's Zerg, and he's looking for a victory. He is Alastor. And I saw the supply block there in 10 for a moment. I got excited thinking, oh boy, we're going to have a 10 full, but no, I should have looked at the production tab. Just doing the extractor trick to be cool. There are some merits to the extractor trick, some pros and cons, but I'm going to be honest with you guys, they're so minor that everyone just agrees the only reason to do it is to look cool, for some swank. But, I don't know, Alastor's definitely proven himself a worthy opponent, I think. For Hyun to be turned around on a dial and still be able to pull that back. In the opening, you can argue whether it was an all-in or not coming out of Alastor, whether it was going to work or not is a whole nother question as well, but I really like the fact that he still went for it. He didn't try and transition out of it. He thought, like, all right, I can just try and overpower my opponent, and he almost did. I mean, for goodness sake, Hyun almost lost that game in the natural base. It got so dicey a couple of times. But, yeah, Alastor proved himself in game 1 for sure. Game 2, still had a pretty good game. We'll see if he can pull it together for game 3. I think this will certainly be an upset, reminding you guys there's only one Korean in the entire tournament today. There's more than one Korean that competed in the group stages, but Hyun is literally the only Korean who made it through the group stages to day 2. There's a lot of Spanish players. In fact, at a quick glance, it looks like there's at least 6-ish, if not more, who have made it through the round of 16, or to the round of 16, I should say. So, much pride to the Spanish community, the Starcraft 2 players, as they're representing the tournament quite nicely. Again, Team SC2 is a Spanish Starcraft 2 team. And what I gotta give the most notoriety about, guys, the tournament's great. They've involved some really fantastic players for what is a surprisingly quote-unquote low prize pool, €250 in total, but of course there's a lot of CM Storm gear being given out to first, second, and third place to help make up the, I guess, the lack of money. So some pretty cool involvement in this tournament for the, you know, to see players like Hyun, NMrUUG, blah, you'd expect there to be a much larger pool, but no, lots of best of 3s to be had today. Of course, this is only the round of 16. The winner of this series actually goes on to fight the winner of Bly versus Waka. So I don't know who that'll be, but man, whether it's Alastor or Hyun, I'm actually going to be quite happy to follow these brackets if we can, because those will be some pretty good games to follow up. Of course, we're at the discretion of the wonderful admins today. They're basically taking care of us, whether you want to see it as babysitting or responsibility, but we will be at their whim as we continue through. Now, Hyun's actually out of gases a little bit earlier this game, not going for that totally gasless style. I think he's going to say, like, look, Alastor has kind of invoked my wrath. I don't want to / can't get away with this. This player has provoked me to the extent where I do have to play a little bit harder, so he may be looking to put on the aggression himself a little bit this game. Now, 2 Lings actually make it towards the main and may try and get a drone kill, trying to juke out the queen with these Lings. Not going to happen, so it does lose one. Meanwhile, the Lings of Alastor are being chased back. I did not actually get in to confirm. Alastor is not confirmed whether Hyun's got gas or not. He's going to lose his Ling here in the middle of the map, so he can't come back for the other scout. Lings have a surprising amount of blood in them for when they die, for how small they are. I'm just going to comment on that real quick. But yeah, he could be assuming Hyun's going for the gasless style once again. I mean, he's done it 2 games back-to-back, but if he does, that's going to be a severe misread and a bad assumption to make, because Hyun, of course, is not playing entirely gasless this time. Has the speed already coming out. He's opted for the earlier Spine Crawler once again with his extra queen. Means his lair is going to be a little bit delayed, but he's not looking to go straight to lair tech. He's already trying to chase off the Overlord with his extra queens. Ooh, he really wants to make sure Alastor does not know that he went for gas. 26 Lings about to pop here in just a second's time. It's just pretty much just... Well, it's going to start with a Speedling all in, but probably turn into Roaches or Banelings afterwards, unless these are all purely defensive, but I don't know anyone that makes 26 Lings purely defensively, so I think he's just bulking them up for the time being, doesn't want to reveal that he's made this many Lings until he's ready to go full ham with it, and try and catch his opponent off guard. Alastor, in the meantime, he's got one Overlord in a pretty decent spot. He needs to scout this coming, because if Hyun gets past this, look at home at Alastor. There's a Spine Caller. There's no semblance of a wall off. He's got his own Baneling Nest, so maybe he tries to hold through that regard. But realistically, Hyun's Metabolic Boost finishing up in just a second, and he'll probably just book it as soon as it's done. 3, 2, 1, and there we go. All the Winged Lings in the natural starting to move out a little bit. Trying to dodge this Overlord. Alastor does not, I confirm, does not see this coming, guys. Hyun has successfully dodged the vision of this. But in the middle of the map, the collision will arrive, and he'll be like, oh my god, that's so many Lings. Where on earth did 40 Lings come from? But here are the Banelings, and Hyun runs right into them. Oh no! What a massacre! What just happened, Hyun? What are you? No! Okay, so Deep breath. That was terrible. And because of this, Hyun's making double evolution chambers to fully wall his base off, because he knows he basically just screwed himself. Now with the small amount of links he has outside of his main base, oh, I like that. He actually let a couple more through. He's going to try and go on the offensive with this. Wants to basically draw Alastor's attention away from Hyun's base and have to force him to defend, buying Hyun even more time to get these evolution chambers up or do what he needs to. With 3 queens here and a lot of transfused energy, additional queens are being made right now because he knows he's going to be in a very desperate hold. He cut a lot of workers to make this happen, guys. Hyun didn't lose any workers so far this game, but he's only got 17 available to him. So Alastor does have a massive lead. He's got the 3rd base, and quite frankly, that throw may have cost Hyun the game. Now that remains to be seen. Alastor's got to cause damage. If he can't cause damage, if he can't break this wall, Hyun can try droning up like crazy. He'll be behind in economy, but ever so slightly compared to that of his opponent. Transfuses do go off, and looks like no more worse for wear. The banelings were just wasted in the end. Lots of circling still poised outside the base. Alastor not looking to be able to end the game anytime soon, but his economy might be what snowballs him forward. He is going for the Spire, actually, out of this quite nicely. Alright. Gets a kill there, backs on off with a hell of a lot of lings chasing in pursuit. But yeah, once the Spire comes out, Hyun's not going to be able to use banelings anymore. Basically, the Mutalisks, they're not here to cause the damage like you would against like a Terran or a Protoss, but the biggest thing, I'm just seeing chat going, oh my god, what the fuck? I guess you can saw the Baneling hits. So the Spire's going to allow the Mutalisks to pick off Banelings. So that limits Hyun's power on these Zerglings, and Hyun's got no follow-up to this, right? Like, there's no Roach Warren, there's no 3rd base, he doesn't have gas to make a ton of Mutalisks himself. Quite frankly, unless he does, this is the clock, guys. The second Mutalisk get out, Hyun's going to be in for some trouble. Now he has elected to go down the path of Roaches, investing in the 1-1 upgrades, but if you look around, there's no Roach Warren, only just now coming in. Ugh. Not even canceling it. Decides to put the Roach Warren in the main instead. I like that choice a lot better. He did, of course, lose Roach Warren in game number 1, and, or game number 2, rather, and it made it a little bit dicey towards the end, but Spine cars come down, gases are canceled. Hyun is on 42 workers. He's caught up in that regard, sure, but he's still down an entire base. Extra evolution chambers coming in because he doesn't know just how hard this aggression will be. He can cancel these guys. It's not the end of the world for him to make these, but as we see, there's no quick way for him to clean up these lings. The queens and the spine claws, they've got the range, but not the DPS. So 2 evolution chambers do go down. He gets the ones researching too, which really hurts for Hyun to have to accept that. No transfuses going down on that one. I kind of wish he would, because this is his ranged weapon attacks, but it does get canceled. Denied, as GameHeart informs us, and he's not canceling the additional evolution chambers. So now stuck with an awkward amount of evolution chambers, and one of them even has a hole in it. I believe links can run through the diagonal between the 2 left evolution chambers. Oh god, this is, I've never seen Hyun play this messy, guys, so to speak, but, you know, if there's one player in this game who's going to be able to come back from a situation like this, it would be Hyun. But 5 spine crawlers coming down. The Mutalisks have been cleaning up Overlords, so Hyun knew this was coming well ahead of time. And, you know, this actually isn't the end of the game. If I really think strongly, if Alastor had chosen gone for, like, let's say Roaches and Hydras or something, he could have ended this game and Hyun would have had no chance to come back. But Spore Crawlers are so good at being anti-Mutalisk, there's a gosh darn good chance that Hyun kills these mutas. That being said, we got Glial Reconstitution and Roaches started here for Alastor, so kind of recognizing my same thought process, saying like, look, probably can't end the game with mutas. He saw this coming, he's got spores up, they're going to have to go with Roaches. But it's 3 bases to 2, it's 61 workers to 45. There's just no way Hyun matches the production of his opponent. I mean, he's going to have an upgrade going for him, sure, but I really don't think 1-1 versus 0-1, as far as armor and weapons go, is going to be that big of a deal. Because it comes down to numbers, guys. Numbers are more important in Roach Wars than anything else. Upgrades, if there's a disparity of like 3-3 versus 1-1, okay, maybe you got me there. But realistically, whoever's got the numbers, whoever's got the concave, that's where a lot of this boils down to. Hyun could actually force a really good defensive engagement and go for retaliation. He does have 4 spine crawlers he could reposition a fight from in the Roach Wars. With the slight upgrade advantage on top of this, could work out quite nicely, but he's got to take a 3rd soon. Recognizing this, he decides to try and take down the rocks. Gonna open another hole in his wall, unfortunately, and more... Oh, sorry, spine crawler's just being repositioned. I thought he was building more. Still not a good spot to be in. He's not gonna be able to secure this 3rd anytime soon with the... Well, he's gonna need to spread creep for the Mutalisks to be shut down truly and entirely, but... This is, overreaction can be picked off there. Gets to change thing up before it dies. Hydralisks have been made for Hyun. The Hydralisk is actually kind of an interesting choice here. So, Everyone's seen Roach versus Roach, everyone's seen Roach versus Hydra, and a lot of the time, Roach versus Hydra ends up going poorly because one player overinvests in Hydras and doesn't invest enough in Roaches. Hyun's definitely not going to be able to afford to make much of either if he doesn't get that third base down, though. There's still Ling guarding against it. He's cleaning up Overlords in the middle of the map, but this is not a position he wants to be in. Banelings are really good against Hydralisk, guys. In full retreat, Hyun knows he cannot take a fight away from the Spine Crawlers. Unfortunately, I don't know if he can choke into this part. No, his Evolution Chambers will act like force fields and lock him into this fight position. Baneling's coming in from the front side. There's only one Spine Crawler, not four, that he has currently available, as unfortunately this is just the worst position possible for Hyun. Mutila's gonna run rampant on top of this. Roaches will eventually bust on through, and these extra two Spine Crawlers are just in the worst spot possible to defend against this. Hyun is making 10 more Roaches. I don't know if he can hold the lines, though. This is not looking good. I mean, it wasn't looking good 10 minutes ago when Hyun threw the Banelings away either, but that's a whole nother can of worms, guys. Spine Crawlers are being repositioned. The Roaches is going to try and hold this off. Drones are being pulled into this, but they're cannon fodder basically at most at this point. Ground Carapace level 2 going to kick in just a second here for Alastor, making this Roaches even more durable, but I think this is already game. Still flooding with more Roaches. Hyun just absolutely floundering at this point. The supply difference is 150 to 49, literally 3 times the supply that of Hyun. Good game, well played is called, and Alastor will advance forward in the brackets, but also